Talk is brought to you by
Tiger Talk brought to you by String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton, Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street, and Katie's Delicious Homemade Goodness, and Perry's Floors and More.
String Beans Coffee House in downtown Princeton specializes in made-to-order espresso drinks. Stop by Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to noon and enjoy a pick-me-up. You can also enjoy fresh-baked scones, homemade chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin cookies, and espresso brownies that'll keep you going all day long. They're also open on Saturday from 9 to 2. String Beans Coffee House on Lower Main in Princeton. Great coffee and more in a great atmosphere on Lower Main in downtown Princeton.
And good morning. Welcome to Tiger Talk at 8:06. It's Wednesday, and that means it's our extension program. Had the pleasure of welcoming into the WPKY studios this morning Rhonda Jewell. She's our agent for 4-H here in Caldwell County. Good morning.
Good morning.
You survived the line of storms that came in last night, and I think they kind of, there was some bad weather last night, a lot of wind, but for the most part, I think West Kentucky made it out okay. Now it's, 40 degrees colder today than it was yesterday,
yes.
just about.
Yes, I pulled out the gloves and winter coat this morning.
Spring, yeah, you came in here all bundled up. Spring in Kentucky, don't we love it?
Oh, yes.
Well, tell me, I know March was crazy for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's your crazy month. Still pretty busy, but tell us what's going on with 4-H and some of the things that we can expect to hear about.
Okay. Like you said, March is a busy month. It is one of my busiest months, even though June I'm gone a lot with camp and team conference and state livestock judging and different things. March is just a busy month. There's just a couple. Actually, there's 2 days in March that I don't work, and every other day it is just because we've got our project groups getting started.
Right.
We've got promoting camp and all different kinds of other stuff. But anyway, it is slowing down just a little bit, prepping for the summer season. So.
Right.
We do have coming up our county communications contest, which is going to be next Saturday, April the 14th at 9 o'clock at the Extension office. I did have to reschedule this from the 12th. And you know what? I think I'm going to revisit that because our TLA group had planned to go to Frankfort on the 12th, and with the way things are going, it doesn't look like they're going to be in session on the 12th. So it looks like maybe I'm going to be able to have that. So anyway, I'm going to put that on hold.
That's your teen leadership, the TLA group, yeah.
Yes. We actually were supposed to have gone to Fort Campbell on the 11th. That was our final trip.
That's always a good one too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and we hate it, but most of the soldiers are out or they're gone.
Yes.
And they're deployed, so there's not much going on, and it just really wouldn't be the same. So we were thinking, let's go to Frankfort. It's a wonderful time. Our kids need to learn about,
yes.
They need to learn about the government, how it works, and so forth. And it allows our legislators also to see our 4-H'ers and what good things that they're doing also. But it looks like the 12th, it's kind of up in the air. So anyway, we're still working on that.
Tell us about the communication contest. How does it work?
This is basically an opportunity for kids to prepare a speech or a demonstration.
Okay.
And the speech just has to be from 3 to 5 minutes if they're a junior, which is under 14, 5 to 7 minutes if they're a senior, and it can be on any topic that they want it to be on. They're categorized by age, so they don't compete against people that are older than them. They can compete against people that are in their same age group.
Good.
But they can write a speech on anything that they want, and a lot of kids, why in the world do you think I would want to give a speech or get up in front of a group of people? Well, it is one of adults' greatest fear to get up in front of a group of people. It's one of my greatest fears. But anyway, one of the things that 4-H does very well is we promote communications in in a lot of different facets. This is just one opportunity that some kids really do like, and some parents really think that their kids should do it. And I have.
It's a great opportunity.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. Actually, it's how Paige got started. She loved doing speeches and demonstrations, and not everybody is as gifted as Paige Hart when it comes to communications, but it's a skill that can be learned.
Sure.
And
it's just practice, just like anything. You
exactly.
Get up and practice it and
exactly.
hone it. So you said it can be a speech or a demonstration.
Yes.
A demonstration would be maybe just going through steps of
how to bake a cake, or how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, or how to saddle a horse, how to groom a horse, or whatever that may be. Something that the child is interested in.
That's neat.
And again, I'm going to be tweaking those dates. We just learned late yesterday about the Frankfurt.
Okay.
So anyway,
so just stay tuned on that.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is a wonderful opportunity. I was back in November. Gage Hendon received his Gold Award, and we were on our way to Atlanta to catch the plane. And he said, "Miss Rhonda," he said, "I sure am glad my mom made me do all this stuff." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for the fact that he actually is a freshman at Eastern, and there's been a lot of there's a couple of the classes that he has to get up and give a lot of speeches, and he is not having any trouble at all because he said, I'm just so used to it.
That's what it's
I've
all
done
about.
It. My mom has made me do it,
and that's where laying the groundwork and these fundamentals pays off.
Yes,
and so that's what it's all about.
So he's had a lot of fun along the way, but he's also learned a whole lot.
That's terrific.
Gained some skills that are going to last him a lifetime.
No doubt.
I also am going to be heading to Louisville this Tuesday. I'm on the State Fair planning committee, and we've got some major changes going on at the State Fair with the 4-H Cloverville, as well as the 4-H and the youth livestock period. We're switching wings from the west wing, which is where we usually are. We're switching to the south wing. So we've got to go. The fair board wanted us to all meet, so we're on the same page. And I'm really excited. It's going to be an interesting year, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really good year.
Do you think it'll be better?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And that's the whole purpose behind it, is to just so we're get more exposure for one thing, because sitting off to the west wing, a lot of times people don't get that far out. But anyway, I think it's going to be good, and we're going to have a lot more room. We've just grown out of where we are.
Outgrown it, haven't you? Yeah.
So.
Now, Cloverville, tell us a little bit about the area. I've heard about it. I don't know. I think I've walked through it before, but it's been a long time since I've been up there. I don't know how long it's been going on.
It's basically where Cloverville is where the 4-H exhibits are housed.
Right.
It's set up kind of like little storefronts, and we have different informational booths and stuff around, and we always have different things going on, whether it's Science, Engineering, and Technology Day, or if it's Performing Arts Troupe Day, or if it's 4-H Camp Day, or whatever. But there's all kinds of different things going on. But there's thousands and thousands of exhibits.
So is it dynamic and changing and fluid during the week, or does it pretty much stay the way it is?
Stays the same.
Okay.
We take our exhibit items in on Monday morning. They get entered and judged, and then by Thursday morning, it's open for the duration, the 10-day duration of the State Fair.
Okay.
So, anyway, looking forward to State Fair this year. So, and it's going to be here before I know it.
It will be, won't it?
Yes. And like I said, our TLA, we're still working on our final plans. We do have graduation set for the 19th. This is going to be at Lee S. Jones Park. Each of the kids get to invite 2 people.
Right.
And we also invite our school administrators to come and kind of share, and the kids have to do their presentations.
It's a nice event. I've been before, and
It is, and it gives the kids a chance to kind of really it's kind of like the culminating event, I guess you could say.
And there's been some impressive little exhibits. A lot of them use the multimedia and PowerPoint type presentations. They're impressive.
And they do get some time whenever we meet. They get some time to work together, but a lot of this, it's communication by phone or
email
or whatever. So it kind of teaches them that responsibility also, and it teaches them how to do PowerPoint. It makes them have to do something. So anyway, we've had a really good year with our TLA group.
That's great.
So also livestock judging, like I said, it's one of our project groups that gets started up in the spring. They've been practicing 3 weeks, I guess. They will skip this week. They meet on Wednesday afternoons. They've been meeting at the Extension office because the Research Center is under construction. We'll meet at the Research Center a couple of times, and whenever they plan on doing workouts at the Research Center, they'll also meet there. So it's just kind of back and forth, but really good year. We've got about 22 that are registered and signed up, and we do look forward to having a Clover intermediate and a senior team this year.
Wow.
So
Now, will that go all the way through the summer months?
It will.
Okay.
It will go through. The state contest is the last week in June, or it's like the third week in June. So the club will go through that point, and then there are still several that show. We have several that show swine and goats, and they'll show through the summer and in preparation for the state fair.
State fair.
Mm-hmm. Shooting sports also. They had their safety trainings last month.
Right.
They will start shooting on April the 17th, and they also shoot at Jones Keeney, which is out on Dawson Road, and they typically start about 4:30, and they do disciplines so the kids can rotate because there's some that do more than one discipline,
right.
and they like to give kids a chance to do that. So anyway, I know they've got a really good group of about 19, I believe. So good group, some returning, and then we also had several new. So
good deal.
Excited about that. We've also got our end of the year clubs that are meeting. April is going to be the last month that Photography Club will meet, and they meet on the 23rd. Craft Club will meet on the 25th, and Horse Club will meet on the 30th. So we do have one night that our horse club, anyone that's interested in attending horse camp or anyone that is interested in doing the district horse show will need to come, and we've got to get all the paperwork and stuff out. So we've set aside the 16th of April, and we're going to meet together this time at about 5 o'clock at the Extension office to start working on that paperwork. And this is all new, so it's going to be kind of like we're going to be a work in progress.
Well, the horse club, I know how many, was reading about, signing up and doing that. How many kids did you end up with in the horse club?
We had 23 that signed up
Wow.
altogether. That many have not came to all the meetings,
Right.
but we've got a good group. So really, really excited.
Well, that's really great.
There's kids that have horses and are interested in going to camp and interested in going to show, but then there's kids that don't have horses, and they have a passion for horses. They love horses. They want to know more about them, and this is just a good opportunity for them to learn. We do also have horseless horse camp, which means they can go to horse camp. They can go a day and learn and do a lot of the same things that the kids that are going to horse camp do, and still have a chance to learn and be around horses.
That's
and
great.
stuff. So yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity. Last year was the first year for that, but it was very well received, and so anyway. Looking
and this
forward
is
to
the
that.
first year, of course. You just hand up an instructor, somebody gets certified to do it.
Yep.
So
First year that we've had a leader, Karen Hester,
yes,
is our leader, and again, her kids grew up in the Livingston County program, and so we're excited to see what's gonna happen. We did get a late start since she didn't get certified until November. We didn't start until after the first of the year. So anyway, I feel like we're just kind of lagging behind, but we'll get caught up next year. It'll be even better.
no doubt.
We also have Team Retreat that's going to be coming up. This is April the 20th through the 22nd. It's held at 4-H camp. This is an opportunity for those high school teens to have 8th grade also. It's open to 8th grade through 8th through 12th graders. A chance to, it's kind of like camp for teens, I guess you could say.
Right. Just through the weekend.
Just through the weekend. They take workshops on Saturday morning. We have fun activities in the evening and at night. And the theme this year is Battle of the Bands, and it'll be Battle of the Decades.
Battle of the Decades.
Yes. So it's Team Retreat's always a lot of fun. Typically anywhere from 80 to 120 kids that come from all the way from Carlisle County to Warren County, actually. So
wow,
all over from District 7 and District 6.
So that you'll have a wide variety of kids from different places.
Yes, we will.
For the Battle of the Decades.
Yes, and it does fall on our prom weekend, so it's kind of hurt our numbers a little bit. But we do have several that are signed up.
Oh,
so,
good.
Looking forward to that. Madison Crider actually serves on the planning committee for Team Retreat, and she's been really active in helping to plan and different things, and because it's part of it. She is vice president for programming,
Okay.
and so that's this is like her major responsibility. So,
Oh, wow.
Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a good retreat. Just hope we have better weather.
Weather, yeah. Surely by maybe late April.
I hope so. And the exciting thing for the girls is our bathhouse. The girls' bathhouse at camp has been completely remodeled.
And remodeled.
So we are so excited. And we learned last week at 4-H camp that the boys will be redone next year.
Okay.
So next camping season, the boys will be
facilities, and of
yes.
course, do the ladies first, and then the guys they can work through it.
Yes, yeah.
That's good.
We also have our Earth Day's coming up on April the 22nd.
That's right.
And National Day of Service is April the 28th. So our teen council is kind of combining these two, and we're going to do an Earth Day / National Day of Service, kind of like a little cleanup. And we're looking for places to clean up, working with Lynn at the solid waste to see if there's any county roads that we can work on.
That's good, yeah.
You know, if anybody has any ideas, anybody has something that they would like us to do, please let us know. And we're going to get several hours in that day. So,
are you going to do it the 28th? Is that when the plan?
28th,
Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to start about 9 o'clock. Unless it's nice, we may start at 8 and
Okay.
finish a little after lunch. So,
Excellent.
Also, I want to kind of like go over some stuff that we did last week.
Yeah.
We had an exciting week last week.
I was hoping you'd talk about it. I think I know where you're going with it. If not, I'll ask you.
It was exhausting, but it was exciting.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The first day was Mantle Rock. This is when our middle school 4-H'ers had a chance to go to Mantle Rock, which is in Livingston County, Crittenden County, and learn about the Trail of Tears and have a chance to do some GPS. We looked up some waypoints and kind of like found our directions through the waypoints. But it was a lot of fun. It was a long hike, and it was muddy. We were walking in mud up to our knees, and so you can imagine how exhausted
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's tough to walk in.
It is. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I would suggest anyone, if you want to spend some family time, take your family. It's the leaves weren't on the trees, so you could really see through the woods. Now, in a couple of weeks, I want to go because some of the spring wildflowers were fixing to bloom. And there were a few that were, but I think in a few weeks, especially after all this rain, it's going to be really nice. So I will definitely be going back and probably taking some more groups there.
I've heard of this place now. Is it like a park, or is it just sort of? No, that's what I'm saying. It's just almost like you just got to know where it is, and you got to hike back there, right?
If you don't know, it's not. If you don't know it's there, you won't have a clue what it is, because there's just a sign and a little circle driveway and an open field, but it's ran by the Nature Conservancy.
It is, okay.
So it is protected, but it's just basically, and it's just a big circle, I guess, that you take around the rock. And we kept thinking, oh my gosh, we're here, because there'd be this rock, kind of like this rock overlaying, and no.
Right.
You keep going.
Pretty good hike, you say?
It is.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting better and better. And then towards the end, you come to the mantle that hangs over, and then there's another rock that kind of like sets in, and there's a tree that grows up in between the two. And so that's what's pretty amazing. So that was basically the Mantle Rock. And you can go in the long way and you come to it last, or you can go in the other way and come to it first. You can take the shorter hike or the longer hike.
So you took a group over there.
We did. I had 6 kids, 7 of us all together. We had a van load full. There were 103 4-H'ers, and from Carlisle County to Todd County. So we had quite a few 4-H'ers, and one of the things that we've tried to do over the last several years is really offer things for our middle school 4-H'ers, because we lose them, a lot of them, during those years. So
was this the full day that you had the black powder demonstration? No. It wasn't. So that's different. Okay, I'm going to ask you about that too. Okay,
that's different. This was for middle school kids.
Okay.
And again, I had some homeschool as well as some kids from my middle school club. We also had on the 29th, this was held at 4-H camp, and this was our American Heritage Day camp.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
This was kind of, I guess you could say, organized and put on by Leslie Barnes, who's the Crittenden County 4-H agent, and Adam Barnes, who is the Livingston County ag agent. They're married. They do early American reenactments,
and stuff. Okay.
and they've done them. Adam's done them for, I don't know how long, for many, many, many years. His wife's done them for about 12 years, and they do them together as a family.
Okay.
And they absolutely love it. And you can tell because
neat.
they were so excited, so enthused. There were volunteers that came from Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, that came, and we had a group there that shot their cannons, and I believe they were from Illinois.
Okay.
They allowed the kids to take part in shooting the cannon. We also had Adam, as well as a couple of other people there that were from Indiana with him, and they did the muskets. They shot muskets and kind of learned how how the regiment would maneuver and move and different things, and then they also had a chance to shoot the muskets. Then Leslie and her daughters and some of the other volunteers from Crittenden County that also do reenactments with them, they did outdoor cooking, and they made fried apple pies. They were delicious.
I bet they were.
They were delicious.
Been in the old iron pots,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with coals and
cast
everything.
iron.
Yeah, big cast iron. Yeah, I bet those were fantastic.
They did it at the shelter house, and they did it. It was kind of like over a fireplace, so it was really, really cool. Robert Ward, who is from Caldwell County, he also was there, and he helped Leslie with the cooking. And then we had some Indians, and I say Indians, an Ottawa Indian, and they are from Indiana, and his son, and they talked about the early American Indians, as well as had a lot of the tools that they used, and just a lot of, very, very knowledgeable. And this is what he does for a living. He educates people about the Ottawa Indians, and you could tell he was very, very knowledgeable. And he's the
real deal.
He is the real deal.
What a
made it
wonderful
that much more.
experience for those kids.
You
learned. That's one of those day learning experiences where it just all comes at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason for doing all this is to see if there was interest in having a group that would want to meet monthly, possibly even have reenactments every couple of months at 4-H camp or at some other place, and have a chance to really get involved in living history.
Wow,
So,
yeah, that's what it is.
Anyway, and I do believe that there was enough interest. There were, I think there are 130-ish kids that were there, along with the parents and the volunteers and the other agents that were there. But it was a pretty amazing day. So
sounds like it.
Yeah.
I saw some really great pictures from the event, so that's really cool.
So that's kind of backtracking. Now, looking forward, we've got 4-H camp coming up. June the 5th through the 8th is when we have our 4-H camp. It's going to be here before we know it. And it's time to register us now. The cost is $200, and this covers everything except for maybe some extra classes. But we try to keep that cost minimal, and $200 can cover it all. If a child would like to go to camp, $50 will hold their spot. Okay. We do have scholarship money that's available, so if there's somebody out there that would like to go to 4-H camp, but expense is just, it's just out of reach, or if a parent's got 2 that want to go to camp, or maybe even 3, and they won't let one because it's not fair that the others don't get to go, if we've got the money, we'll try to help. I tell the kids at school, where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to go to camp, you got to let your parents know, have them contact me, and I will do what I can.
And that is the 5th through the 8th?
5th through the 8th of June.
Of June. Of course, you just had a successful cookout down at Butler.
Yes, we did. That was a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, and that went well.
It did. It went real well. We had, it was not a good day as far as weather-wise.
Yeah, yes.
But we did sell out, and,
Great.
We're looking forward to doing it again next year because it does help us. Really what that money goes toward is to help us to keep from having to raise the cost because we have to. It costs about $230 to send a kid to camp. We are only charging $200, and we're up just five from last year. So we've got to come up with that money somewhere. So we're trying to do fundraisers for that.
Okay.
And again, the scholarship fund is completely separate of that. So
right.
Anyway, and if anybody would like to help send a kid to camp, then they can contact me. And if they have a certain child that they have in mind, or if they just want to help, we'd be glad to take
365-2787.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yes.
We've also have Cloverbud Camp. This is going to be June the 1st through the 3rd, the week before or the weekend before 4-H camp. This is an opportunity for kids that are 5 through 8 and their parents to have a chance to go to camp, to have a camping experience. It is a wonderful time to bond. I took my granddaughter, and it was just a wonderful.
So the parents go on this.
Parents go, grandparents can go, guardians can go. It is a lot of fun, and they get to do a lot of the same classes that they get to do at camp. It's set up a lot like camp. Plus, it gives the parents exposure to 4-H camp and helps build our volunteer base. And so, but that's June the 1st through the 3rd. It is $120 per person. And again, they can call the extension office if they have any questions or would like any registration information. Aerospace Camp is also going to be held in June the 22nd. It's held at the Hopkins County Airport. And this is a kid.
That's a big hit, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It really is. And it is just one day, but the things that they learn and the things that they get a chance to do in that one day is pretty amazing. They learn a lot about science, a lot about robotics, a lot about rocketry. They also have a chance to learn a lot about flight and the principles of flight. They have a chance to do their first solo flight, I guess you could say, but there is a co-pilot in the plane with them.
Yeah.
But they're actually flying the plane, and it's a wonderful chance to just have some hands-on science. Since they are doing their solo flights, they can record those hours, and to get your private license, you have to have so many hours, and I'm not exactly sure how many, but they start attaining these, and I've had 4-H'ers that have
gone on and gotten their license.
Well, they're working on them. In flight school. Gage Hendon, as a matter of fact, is in flight school this year. He's a freshman. He knew that he wanted to become a pilot because he spent a lot of time at aerospace camp, and he loved it, and he has already had flight hours as he started. Then he should, I'm pretty sure, have his private license at the end of this year. So,
wow. And
then by the time he graduates, he'll be a commercial pilot. So
that's really great.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. A lot of the things that people do in 4-H, they may not think about it at the time, but they're helping to build ideas for their vocation.
Sure.
They may find, this is really what I have a passion for, I love, whether it be land judging and or livestock judging or being a pilot. So.
Yeah, that is good stuff. It really is.
And that's about it right now.
It didn't sound like, it sounds about like March, Rhonda. I mean, for it to be dying down.
Yeah, believe you me, it's not. It's not that bad. It is
busy
slower.
April. And if you're out there listening and you have questions concerning 4-H camp or any of these wonderful opportunities for your child in 4-H, give Rhonda a call out at the Extension office, 365-2787. Be glad to talk to you about this. And again, if you're saying, well, I'd love for my kid to go to 4-H camp, I don't know if I can afford it, or I've got 3 wanting to go, again, talk to her about that as well, 365-2787. She's available out there. If she's not there, just leave a message. She'll get back to you and return your call. So what a wonderful time you had in March. And then we're going to get back and talk about the communications contest. You're still kind of seeing when that date might be shaped out.
I'm going to head to the office now, and I'm going to go try to get that figured out.
Okay. All right. Well, Rhonda, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you coming in. And if it's Wednesday, that means it's our extension program on WPKY The Tiger. We have an agent from our UK Extension Office, of such a valuable resource for our county. They are here every Wednesday to bring you the extension program here on your hometown radio station, WPKY The Tiger. Today's guest, 4-H agent Rhonda Jewell. Again, get in touch with her if you need to speak with her about 4-H or any of the agents out at the UK Extension Office, 365-2787. It's 8:33. That's going to wrap up at the Wednesday edition of Tiger Talk on WPKY. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day, everybody.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place